so I messed up. Also, check out my new mic. So first of all, I really want to thank all of you for the immense support that I got on the last video about the Formula Vee. I was not expecting that much support, which was really cool. But I did mess up, and I want to apologize to all of you because that video was half as long as it was supposed to be. It was only like 9 minutes long, and it was supposed to be like closer to 20 minutes. I don't know what happened. It was something with how it got exported or something like that. Thought it was funny. One of the comments was like, "Oh, it's like a Rob Dom type of exit," and I was like, "Yeah, that kind of is." So, but with that, I did want to go into more detail on what exactly the Formula Vee is, as well as the intricacies of it. So I'm going to show you all the little things that I was going to show you in the last video, but I didn't because I suck. So with that, enjoy the rest of this video, which was supposed to be the last video, but it's now this video because it's its own video. But it's going to be going back in time to what I was supposed. Never mind. I'm not going to show everything on camera just because I think a lot of it is pretty basic stuff, but I did want to go over just the unique features of this car, just because for me at least, this is my first time having anything to do with a Formula car, and I just think it's so fascinating and I want to share it with all of you. The first thing is the fact that these cars don't really have seats. They kind of just have like these makeshift seats. So the previous owner, what he had here was what he totally made custom. So all of this that folds back, he did all of this with like foam and sheet metal. It's this whole thing that he slotted in here, and then with this like padding as well, which obviously I gotta get some Velcro on here. There's a plate, a backing plate that I need to put here. The crazy part is that's where the fuel tank is. So it's definitely crazy. I mean, obviously it's a fuel cell, so it's gonna be totally safe because this is what it's meant to be like. But it's really interesting just how this works. I'm grateful that honestly it's looking like I'm not gonna have to make a lot of major modifications because the previous owner was similar in size to me, which is awesome. So this whole like back part of the seat I'm gonna leave as is. He had this other foam insert that was right here, but honestly my butt was too big to fit into the groove. So what I did was I found this piece here on Amazon. It's literally just a bar stool cushion that is 12 by 12 and it fits perfectly in here. So I cut a hole. I'll see if I can maybe stitch this up or something like that, but I cut a hole for the 6-point harness. But it's crazy because that is just sheet metal. Like there's nothing else, which is so wild to me. Obviously we've got the fire suppression system there. You can see inside that we've got the 3 pedals down there. Everything seems to be pretty good in terms of length for me. Everything feels good, which is awesome. So I'm gonna do a test fit with all of my gear on to make sure it's good. So that includes my racing shoes, my racing suit, the Hans device, the helmet, and even arm restraints, which I've never dealt with arm restraints before, but essentially what they do is they keep your arms only in the cockpit, so that way if you were to get in a crash, they don't go flailing out or anything like that. The previous owner, Adam, was awesome enough to actually get these harnesses sent into Crow, which is the brand of these, and get them recertified, so now they're good until 2026. So that was really nice. He also got these narrowed so that they're 2 inches so they fit on the Hans device better, which was really cool that they can do that and still be fully certified and all that stuff. So the only things now that I have to do before the race day, which luckily isn't too much, is get the harnesses to the perfect length for me. So it's really just the shoulder parts, the 6-point, and then messing a little bit with the lap belt, but it's not too crazy. I'm gonna have to put some metal tape on the firewall back here just to make sure no heat from the engine gets in, because that would really suck. It's also very loud, so I'm gonna have to definitely bring earplugs. Even though I'm gonna have a helmet on, it's still insanely loud, so that's gonna take some getting used to. I'm gonna have to make sure that this seat works. I've been sitting on it without the racing stuff on, and it seems to be fine. The only other stuff really is you can see that the roll bar padding is definitely old and worn, so I bought some more. The fire suppression bottle is an interesting one because it is
very, very old. It's from 2001 actually, but it's still holding charge. And according to VAR's rulebook, that is still allowed, because technically it's like, you know, if it's still holding charge, it'll still work. I personally, I don't really feel great about that, just because this fire extinguisher is almost as old as I am. So it'll be fine for this one track day, but going forward, I do want to get a newer one, so hopefully I can find just the same exact bottle and not have to replace the lines as well. But I would feel more comfortable with a newer one. It's still holding charge, so it still should be fine. Obviously, the hope is that I never would have to use it, but I do care a lot about safety, even with little nitpicky things like that, so I want to do everything I can to be as safe as possible. Down the line, I would like to repaint the cage. I mean, you can see just from use over the years, it's very, very worn, but that's not too much of a big deal. The thing that I thought was pretty funny is the fact that the battery for this car is literally just a lawnmower battery, but since there's no alternator in this car, obviously it's not gonna hold charge. So previous owner, Adam, he gave me this battery tender that I just leave plugged in when I'm not driving it, so that way the battery is always good to go. But one thing I did wanna show was all the little things that I got with it. Obviously, I've got 2 full sets of tires, which is really cool. Those are gonna last a really long time, which is really awesome. They got me a quick jack too, which is really sweet. I just have it down here. I don't feel like pulling it out, but that's gonna make it super nice for jacking it up and getting it ready to go. But on top of that, I got a lot of just random bits and bolts and spark plugs and all these things, like tons of things here. I don't even know what everything is. There's a spare carburetor over there. I've got a spare engine as well, which is awesome. Gave me all of this, which is insane. All these little things here, which is just so cool. Lots of little, just random, I don't even know what all of this is, but it's so cool. Those are actual lug nuts. The coolest thing is the fact that not the previous owner, but the owner before him was really the one who did all this stuff. The guy who had this car before, he didn't have it for very long, but the previous one, his name was Dennis, he had this car for over a decade and did some really, really cool stuff with it. He took it pretty much all around the country, and the thing that I was loving was looking at the logbook, because that was a very important thing to make sure that this car has, because that's how you can basically see where it's been and where it's been raced, and the fact that it has been approved in the past means that it should have no problem getting approved now, so that's a really good sign. But this car has been to Coda, this car has been to Hallett, it's been to all of the ones in California, I think Arizona, I think he did a bunch of other ones too, and I can just go through the logbook and see all the different tracks. And on top of that, he's won races with this, and that's how you know this is a really good car, when the fact that if you can win races in this car, I'd say, you know, at that point, it's nothing with the car, it's all on me to make sure that my skills are up to par to actually use this machine properly, which is really, really cool. I'm super, super excited for what's to come with this car. I cannot wait to show you guys how the racing in this thing is, because it's so unique, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. And it's just amazing that I could get something like this for such a good price. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. There's going to be so much to learn about this car and everything about how it handles and how to take care of it and all that stuff. But I cannot wait to take you guys through it. So next Sunday is going to be my first track day with it. There, I'm going to make sure I'm getting the hang of everything, and I'll give you guys a rundown of everything there and show you just what I'm going through and what I'm feeling getting used to this car. But I cannot wait to actually go racing. The fact that later this year, I'm actually going to be racing, just, I can't explain the feeling to you. It's just, it feels so good, because this is something I've been wanting for years now, and I've just been waiting so long, and to be able to actually put in the work to get here to do this, it's just the best thing ever. I can't put it into words. I'm just so excited. So I want to thank you guys very, very much for all your support. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think I should do with the Focus. I'm thinking about selling it, but also I was thinking about, you know, if I hang on to it, then it can be something that I can take to the track and have my friends drive or something like that, so that way they have something. I'm so sentimentally attached to the car, and it would help out a lot to sell it, but it's also one of those things where it's very is a niche thing, and I don't know who would even want to sell, or who would even want to buy it. So if any of you are interested, I'm very hesitant to sell it. I would really only sell it if I know it's going to someone that's going to use it for what it's meant for and appreciate all the work that's been put into it, because I learned everything I know about cars on that car. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of time put into that thing, and I'm very hesitant to just let it go. So I really want to hear your guys' thoughts, but either way, I cannot thank you guys enough for the support. I know I haven't been recording a lot on this channel. There's been a lot of hard stuff happening, especially with my grandpa passing away and having to deal with that. So I've been kind of stepping aside to focus on that, focus on my family and myself and my mental health. But I know he's going to be looking down, and he's going to be so stoked to see me doing this. And I promised him this is what I was going to do. He was my biggest supporter, and this is just going to be so awesome. And I know he's going to be up there supporting me, and I got to make him proud. So flashback now to today, which is Friday, and tomorrow we're going to be heading up to the track, and we're going to get everything unloaded for Sunday. I'm so excited. I'm a little nervous, honestly, but it's going to be really cool, and I can't wait. So I will see you guys in the next episode, where we will actually be going to the racetrack. I really don't know what to expect. I'm stoked, though, that the previous owner of the car, he's going to be there, and they're going to save a spot for me in the pits with them. So having all of them to help out and all of their knowledge, I'm going to try and absorb as much as I can. I'm not going to push it or anything like that. The main thing is going to be just getting comfortable in this weird car. So let me know if there's any specific things you guys want to see with these upcoming videos. I'm going to do my best to record everything for the track day, but if there's any specifics that you guys want to see about the car, please let me know. There's a lot of weird little things that I've been learning just in the last few days. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot on the first track day, so I can't wait to show you guys that and kind of see like what it's like handling one of these types of cars, because there's so many little things that you don't really think about until you own it. Like the fact that I had to go today to the closest municipal airport to get the gas for it because it runs on 100 low leaded, which I also posted a video on my Instagram about, so go check that out at Tyler Bendis. But it's really interesting because, yeah, it runs on airplane fuel, which is such a strange thing, and I got to go in there, and they were totally fine with me filling it up and getting all the race jugs ready to go. So that was interesting, but I realized I'm just rambling for too long now. So thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys in the next one.